For my IPS, I have been studying esoteric history, having great fun being a ghost archaeologist. I've mainly been focusing on the psyche of London. A place is often defined by its surface level, but when you dig a little deeper, it is made up of clusters of legends, folklore, ghosts, and emotions. I began researching my IPS this summer at the homestead I grew up at. Here, there is a tale of a ghostly orb that haunts my family's caravan. This tale comes from a lot of family and friends who witnessed this mysterious specter. It interests me because my family is the inception of this folk tale. This ghost is apparently, according to the psychics among us, the man who built my parents' house and died in it. Our own imaginings of the history of this place have bred this ghost's character. A doddering, typically ghostly, solitary soul whose belongings still litter the place I grew up at. As a means of recording this place, I took many photos, especially of the more mundane corners that are saturated in personal history to me. I used native Canadian plants, such as crushed Oregon grape, or less successfully Saskatoon berries and sage, to make paintings and try to replicate the colors of the Okanagan Valley. My work over the summer was to ease me into esoteric archaeology with a personal twist, all while still being able to hang out at the beach. The majority of my research as a ghost archaeologist has taken place in London, a city I love for its insanely intricate and cosmopolitan layers of rubbish and nonsense. London is a super haunted place, and it is also a constant recycler of ideas, habits, and folklore. As a means of researching, I have been taking long psychogeographical rambles through the city. I've researched areas of particular interest to me using resources such as the Museum of London, many of Peter Ackroyd's writings, the 14 Society, the Londonist, the Thames Discovery Program, and so forth. Then I've set out on wicked little adventures to experience the place in person. As I go along, I take many pictures and field notes and try to collect little bits and bobs when it's appropriate, like the copious amounts of random rubbish I've collected from the Thames shore. This harkens back to work I was doing last year, which was leading up to a focus on the strange spirit of London through its stones, earth, waste, and hidden fragments. My London Mortality chocolates represented different historical and emotional layers of London's past. They were shaped as medieval memento mori prayer beads, representing life and death and representing the decapitated head of Charles I. They were flavored symbolically with rosemary for death, citrus zest for youth, and salted caramel blood for super gooey gore. The recycling of cultures and ideas, class systems and anxieties interest me greatly, and London is a wonderful palimpsest which represents the constant cyclical flow of human behavior. My dissertation also focused on these ideas of recycled human psychology through the medium of folk horror films from the 1960s and 1970s. The kitsch and silly factor of these movies is really high and really great, but they also speak volumes for British social behavior and have thus informed my IPS work. Any other places I travel to, I also record as a ghost archaeologist. In the last few months, I have enjoyed the autumn glory of Lavenham, Suffolk, famous for wool and witch hunts, and the Gothic splendor of Edinburgh. My course project work was illustrating The Nose by Gogol. This bizarre Russian novella tells the tale of a 19th century St. Petersburg civil servant, collegiate assessor Kovalev, who wakes up to find his nose is missing from his face. It was found earlier that morning by a loutish barber in his breakfast roll. Since then, the nose has run off to act as an upper crust officer. The collegiate assessor chases the nose around St. Petersburg in a sort of bureaucratical nightmare to retrieve it to its rightful place. It is a nonsensical story that has been given many literary interpretations over the years. I personally see it as a pre-Freudian dreamscape depicting male anxiety. And yeah, eventually he gets his nose back. For the book project, I developed some dolls representing the drunken barber and his harping wife, the nose itself, and a number of miniature objects that represent the twisting of reality and the bodily anxieties that correspond to the story. I intend to make the nose walk in place using a small motor. I hope that the book project will inform my IPS in my use of materials and character play. Eventually, I plan on a multimedia final project that includes a London historama, a moving diorama with various London characters from the past and present on it, and a London stone tape, a recorded ghost story inspired by the 1970s BBC science fiction radio drama, The Stone Tape Theory.